Andrew McGahan for SevereMMA, standing alongside Aisling Daly here in SPG Concord. And Aisling, a lot of ups and downs since I last saw you and I've last spoke to you. You made the heartfelt plea to get into the UFC. You got your wish. You're in the UFC. You've won in the UFC. The thing you put on Facebook last week was about really wanting to replicate the feeling of winning again. Can you even sum it into words what it's going to be like?
It's very hard to put into words that feeling. You know, it's just like the culmination of a lot of years work in my case, a lot of effort, and it's the reason why we fight. It's the reason why we compete. You know, if you could bottle and sell that feeling that you get when you have a win, you know, we'd be billionaires at this stage. So that's everything that I'm striving for. I just want that pure happiness back again. So just training my ass off, working really hard, and no matter who the opponent is, I'm just going to go in there and do my thing. So looking forward to it.
On that, do you think it was finally a just reward as one of John's longest pro fighters, one of the longest pro fighters in Ireland? There was never going to be a weight division for women in the UFC. Then we got 135, now we are 115. Is this the full circle?
I don't know. It's just a weird situation for me. You know, I was chasing a dream that didn't exist. You know, I just love the sport and I love everything about the sport, and anybody will tell you I've always done my best to try and bring the whole sport along with me. I've never been just about me, you know, even with SaveMMA and all that kind of stuff. I've always been trying to look after how the sport is perceived and, you know, getting government involvement and all that kind of stuff. Like, to be honest, I don't believe in like just desserts or anything like that. Like, sometimes you work hard and you never get anywhere. I think sometimes things fall together, sometimes they don't, and obviously for me I'm delighted that they have a 115 women's division, and I worked my ass off to get here. But, you know, there's some people who've, you know, trained on you a couple of years and they've had great opportunities given to them a lot sooner than me. So I don't think there's some kind of weird ultimate cosmic fairness or something like that. I just think sometimes you'll get it, sometimes you won't. Well,
unfortunately you're not fighting this week. You were scheduled for UFC Poland. A little bit of back and forth between you and your former opponent, Claudia. Is it buried now? Is it a fight that you want to get after this fight?
To be honest, I just don't care. Like, she seemed to take a lot of offence to what I said. More offence than I meant to even cause. You know, I just think people are trying to cause drama and sell fights, and anytime I seem to say the slightest little bit thing, everybody's jumping on it. You know, even Randa at the moment, she can keep on underestimating me. I seen an article today. I'm like, I never said I underestimated you. I didn't say anything, but if that's the way your mind needs to work, and Claudia, if you need to think that I think you're as you said, whatever, like, I don't care. Like, to me, at the end of the day, it's just an outlet for competition. You know, they're the same thing, different face. That's so either give me Claudia next after Randa, give me a rematch with Penne, sure, give me Joanna, give me whoever, I don't care. Like, just, I want to keep busy, I want to keep active, I want to keep fighting. So same thing, different day for me.
Last week at the Q&A at the World Tour, I actually think you got some of the best questions from some of the fans. It seems like the fans that stayed for your Q&A were the ones that were genuine fans that wanted to know more about you and your career. And you were asked an interesting question, is that does the fight against Randa mean you're going to have another fight before title contention? Because you could argue maybe they were setting you up for number one contendership with your last fight with Claudia.
Honestly, just because of the way the rankings are, you know, I think I'm about number 9 at the minute. I think Randa's number 7. I think they might see that I need to get another fight before I'm in title contention. You know, obviously Claudia was ranked right up there. She was number 2 or whatever, so a win over her would put me right into the top of the mix. But equally a devastating win over Randa. You know, if I go in there and I TKO her or I KO her in the first round or submit her fast, you know, an impressive victory could easily put me into the mix as well. You know, Penne is ranked so highly, and obviously she lost a close decision to Penne the last fight, and Penne is pretty highly ranked. So to be honest, like, that's all this huge big picture that I'm not really thinking about. I just have to take one fight at a time and one performance at a time, and if I don't do that, you know, I don't want to get any kind of craziness in my head, like, oh, I'm fighting for a title or anything. It's just like one win after the other, and at the end of the day, they're all paychecks, and I've been involved in this sport for so long. I deserve to actually start to be able to earn a living from it. I still am earning enough. I still live at home, you know. Jesus, my ma's still helping me out with stuff, so like, I deserve to be earning a little bit from this. So I'll take a one paycheck at a time or whatever, and then eventually that title fight will come. All that I need to do is keep winning.
And the next time you'll get to do it is pretty soon, UFC 186 in Montreal. I don't know if you heard today, but Rampage Jackson has been pulled off the card. And I saw someone raise on Twitter, it's like, why are there higher ranked fights further up the card, yet 2 top 10 female 155ers are on the Fight Pass prelims? Do you think this could be the avenue for you to announce yourself and then start maybe getting that money you were talking about?
Honestly, we're all on the same contract from when we were in the Ultimate Fighter, so at this stage, until I go into some kind of contract renegotiation, which I'm in no position to ask for right now, I'm on the same contract. So whether I was the co-main event on this show or I'm forced up on the prelims, I'm still getting the same paycheck, so it doesn't bother me. And to be honest, I thought they'd probably have us up further up the card, especially with Randa being Canadian. You know, I understand I'm probably not a massive draw to the Canadian fans, but Randa being a native, I thought maybe that'd work out a little bit better. But you know, whether I'm forced up on the card or whether I'm main event, it's all the same to me. Like, I just live in this little bubble and I just think about things a certain way, and if the picture gets too big for me to be able to handle, then I just stop thinking about the bigger picture and just focus on the little details. You know, at the end of the day, it's not a title fight, it's 3 5-minute rounds, so whether I'm on the biggest stage in the world or the smallest stage in the world, it's still just 15 minutes of my life.
And finally, with UFC Poland this weekend, Joanne Calderwood is facing. You were friends with her in the Tough House. It wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility maybe for the UFC to match the two of you up in the future. Is it something that you'll take, no questions asked?
Yeah, definitely. You know, at the end of the day, this is a sport, and more so than it's a sport, it's a business, and it's an entertainment business at the end of the day. And I think that's a fight that people would like to see for a number of reasons. You know, stylistically, matchup wise, we might match up well. You know, the Scottish fans are crazy, the Irish fans are crazy. You know, it'd have really good support. So yeah, at the end of the day, I've no personal feelings towards anybody. Like I said, Claudia, Randa, Joanne, whoever. Like, I don't have any bad feelings towards any of them. And you know, whatever way the fight goes or whatever happens, you know, I'll shake their hand at the end of the day and we can go have some food or go have a drink or whatever, because it's not the way I operate. I'm not mad at anybody, I'm not angry at anybody, I'm not in this sport to hurt people. I'm here to test myself, and that's how I feel. So if the matchup with Joanne comes, you know, I'll put friendship aside for the 6 or 8 weeks or whatever, getting ready for it, and then for that 15 minutes I'm going to go as hard as I can and I'm going to try and win, and then when it's all said and done, we can go back to chatting and whatever.
A very, very honest assessment there, Aisling, I have to say. You hear a lot of pro fighters taking an opposite tune these days, but it's very refreshing to hear someone willing to put things like that aside. Thank you very much. Congratulations in Montreal. See you soon.